All right, so shalom, shalom. All right, so first and foremost, start off by saying Barak Thumb, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, and I want to give all honor and glory to. So I can see you for that. All right, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the hopefully elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom. All right. Right, so excuse me, see text message, but Lord willing, I'm not gonna make this too long. I was asking them for a precept. The brother know what it is. El Apostle Ramla quoted, says in Jeremiah, it said, "I'll be happy when they become like we are in a sense, or they become like us, because and this title's lesson is they're gonna be as though they never were, right? All right, let's go straight to Obadiah. Right? Obadiah chapter 1. And when you understand it, right? Matter of fact, let's go to Revelation 13 real fast. Revelation 13 and verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. The saints are who? The Hebrew Israelites. Psalms 148. Right? But understanding that, he that leads the captivity shall go into captivity, right? So we understand that when you go to Obadiah, when understanding that when the scriptures say that he's gonna be as though he never were, going to Esau, Edom going to be in captivity, man. They're going to be our slaves. They're going to be, because right now they're on top. Right now they're on top of earth. Right now they're the kings of the earth, right? This is their heaven. They have the rule. They have it all. They blessed with everything, right? Let me see. Bear with me. Yep, right here, right? This is Obadiah 1, verse 15. It says, for the day of the Lord, Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done to thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So when you understand it, this is going to Esau Edom, but a lot of these nations have had us in the captivity. Psalms 83, it speaks about our enemies. And our main one being who? Esau Edom, which was worst captivity of them all. Them slaughtering and killing our people. Them doing a lot of things to our people, right? Them doing unspeakable things to our people, right? But it's going to be a recompense to them for what they did, right? Matter of fact, let's go to Amos. I said that's Amos. It might be Amos 1. It might be Amos 1 and 9. It might be 3. Bear with me. Yeah, Amos 1 and 11, right? It says, this is the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, right? But they're not our brothers no more, right? Malachi 1, right? He said, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, right? And he kept his wrath forever, right? He said, but I will send a fire upon Teman, right? Which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. And Bozrah is the capital city of Edom back in the day, right? The capital city of the Edomite Empire today is what? America. This is modern day Bozrah. So there's going to be a punishment upon them for what they did to our people. And we're recompense to them for slavery, disgrace, all the things that they did to our people, right? That's why the scripture said they're going to be as though they never been. But they're going to be as verse 16 as it reads says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, which is the Hebrew Israelites, children of Israel, right? So shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down. They shall be as though they had not been, right? Because right now you see them. They live in lavish. They having everything. They having everything and all things in this world, right? Though they don't gotta work. They live in a blessed life. I went into other day how they probably gonna bring them down. In Psalm 73 speaks on when King David was saying how he seen the prosperity of the wicked, how they live with fat. Matter of fact, we're gonna grab a precept in that real fast. Psalm 73, right? Why this brightness so low? Psalm 73 and verse. Bear with me. Psalm 73. Psalm 73 verse 7. It says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart can wish. Right? So they having all these things. They having a bunch of things where they live in a blessed lifestyle in this place, man. They having everything they want. Right? The scripture's talking about how they live deliciously, right? You know what I'm saying? You have these Edomite babies, you have these Edomite families, they're born into riches. They run the world. They run the world, right? But the recompense upon them, right, was been from the beginning, because ultimately it been this way, but we messed up as a nation, as our people. We messed up, right? So Yahweh, to fulfill prophecy, Yahweh raised them up. He raised them up, made them a golden cup, Jeremiah 51, right? Made Babylon a golden cup, right? And he made them golden cups. So now they blessed with the fats of the earth. They have all these things. They blessed with the riches, right? But in reality, we know, right, that they're going to be brought down when we're raised up, right? Because now the time our iniquity is finished. We just waiting on the deliverance. We understand why we here, what we've been through, what the elect do, right? So Esau done got too prideful. They think that now that they done raised up so high, they think that can't nothing touch them. You know, Most High said Ezekiel 28 said they think they're God, but they just a man, right? But we're going to be changed back into our God-like complex. We're going to be changed back into that in the kingdom, right? Where the law of children written in our hearts and minds, right? You know, you have Abishai, King David. You have the 12. You have the government body, which is the thrones of David, right? We understand the thrones of David, right? Where you have the governing body, which we're going to rule, which those elect members going to rule. You know, each nation going to have a ruler of Israel. From Israel, as I say, right? So you might have this elect member, he ruling these people, things and such, right? You know, we're gonna be like we're gonna be their God, right? We're gonna be their guys, right? They're gonna have to follow the laws and ways of Yahweh, and we're gonna make sure they do. That's why we're gonna rule them, right? The other Apostle Romli was going into this, you know, through the Spirit, man. We want to go into it, right? We'll grab this Psalms 149, right? Right, 149 verse 6 and 7, right? It says, let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, a literal sword, right? A literal sword, right? It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their noble with fetters of iron, right? Because you got to understand, these elites, things and such, all these people are going to go into captivity, the continual employment. Those ones who hide to those bunkers, run to those bunkers. You can look and see these world leaders like Trump, the president. These ain't the elites. These ain't the kings, quote unquote, not actual kings, but rulers of this world. You know, this is top banking family, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the ones behind the scenes. You know, that secret council, right? But them guys are going to go into those bunkers and going to try to run into those bunkers and try to hide. They're going to be as though they've never been, because right now they're at their peak. They're having riches, they're having all these things. They're to the point where they ain't even got to be seen, you know. And they run to these bunkers when the time comes. They're gonna run to these bunkers and they're gonna hide things that such, right? And I'm finna show you, right, Ezekiel 39, those ones who survived Armageddon, World War III, Yahweh shall come back and tear this place down, right? The ones who survived, the elites, the other nations, they're going straight into captivity, man. They're gonna be as though they've never been, especially Esau, right? 39 verse 14. Right, this is verse 14. Bear with me. Yeah, I know what to. Ezekiel 39 verse all right, we'll start at verse 13. Right, yeah. Verse 13 says, yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them. It shall be to them a renowned day that I shall be glorified, says the Lord Yahweh. Right? It says, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, because we're going to make these elites, these people of nations survive, because everybody ain't going to die, because they're going to have to go into captivity. We're gonna make all of them bury the dead bodies that's laying around. We're gonna make all of them cleanse the earth, cleanse those dead bodies laying around. Right? It says they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. At the end of the 7 months shall they search. right? So we're gonna make them go out and cleanse the land, right? Bury those dead bodies, get rid of those dead bodies, man. There's gonna be continual employment, or we're gonna bound them in chains. They're gonna be under our subjection, under our rule, right? They're gonna be as though they had not been, right? Because that's their judgment, and it's been this way. But like I mentioned, we went off. So Yahweh Shai allowed us to go off so we can understand the righteous and the wicked, right? So now we're gonna be righteous rulers in the kingdom, right? Now we understand both ways. Now we're gonna be righteous rulers in the kingdom, and we're gonna rule in righteousness, man, right? But these other nations, especially Esau, Edom, they're gonna go into captivity for what they did to our people, right? Throwing us in captivity, slaving our people, doing these things to our people, right? We're gonna go into that. That's our little ones as well, right? This is Psalms 2, right? And I started verse 6. It says, "Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion," right? I would declare the decree the Lord Yahweh has said unto me, "Thou art my son, because they have forgotten thee," right? Talking about Yahweh Shai, right? And it says, at verse 8, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." So this been given to Yahweh Shai, but it's things we had to correct. Even Yahweh Shai went off as Adam and Solomon. But when it came to Yahweh Shai, he was perfect. But now in the kingdom, these people are going to be under our rule, under our subjection, right? When we're on them thrones with Yahweh Shai, right? You know, Lord will that hopefully let. And the other nations, especially Esau, they're going to be under us, right? But Esau, going to them, they're going to have it hard, man, right? Because it's other nations that's going to want to get on their head or they're in captivity. Esau, they're going to have it hard. You know, they're gonna be having nightmares. Even on the Sabbath, when we ain't whooping their ass, they're gonna have nightmares, man, about what's done to them, right? This is Job 5. Bear with me. Not Job 5, Job 18, I want to say. Yeah, Job 18, right? And we started at verse. We started at verse 7. It says the steps. Matter of fact, we started at verse 6, right? Matter of fact, it's like we started at verse 5, right? It says, "Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine," right? "The light shall be dark in his tabernacle; his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast to a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare." Snare is a trap. "The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid up for him in the ground, and the trap for him in the way." Right here, verse 11. "Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet." Right? Because he gonna be. Matter of fact, continue reading now. "His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side." Right? They're gonna be going through a lot. They're gonna go through destruction, pain, right? The same thing we went through, right? And they're gonna go through it for 1,000 years. And when they're done, we're gonna tie them up and do away with them, right? But to continue reading, it says, "And it shall," verse 13 says, "It shall devour the strength. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength." Right? "His comfort shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and shall bring him to the king of terrors," which is the Heavenly Father Yahweh, the king of terrors. We're gonna be on them, right? We're gonna be on them, right? Watch what it says, right? "His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above his branch shall be cut off," because they're gonna be done away with. "His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street," right? "He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world," right? "He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwelling," right? So they're going to be done away with, right? They're going to be done, right? Once they start their captivity, once they go through that, we're going to be on them. We're going to be on their head. We're going to be on them bad. Rule them with we're going to rule the nation with a rod of iron, man. Right? We're going to rule with a rod of iron. And we're going to be on them bad. All the things they've done unto us, we're going to do unto them, right? Not those bugged out things they was doing, but the righteous judgment to them, what they did to us, we're going to do it to them. It's Psalm 137, right? All right, verse 7. Right, so verse 7 says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom and the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, use the foundation." That's when they tore down our land, 680 to 70 AD, right? It says, "O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So we're going to reward them for the thing they've done to us, man. That's what it says. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashed thy little ones against the stone. Because they used to do that to our little ones. Feed our kids the alligators, like all type of things. We're gonna be on them. They're gonna be as though they had not been. All the things they did into our nation, we're gonna do unto them. Once again, all those boiled out weird things Esau be having going on, right? Inside joke, but in the sense, all the things gonna come back on them, man, right? And these people think that these elites really thinking in their mind that, what it says, let's go to that, what is that? Psalms. Bear with me. What is that? Inward thought. I know it says inward thought. Yeah, Psalms 49:11. It says that inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call land after their own name. So they thinking this place gonna last forever. These elites really got in their mind that they're gonna run into these bunkers, build these bunkers, and they're gonna be able to, once they come out, they're gonna be able to repopulate the earth through their seed. Man, they finna go to a place they never been. They finna go from riches to rags in a minute. It's finna be harsh. They finna be those they never been. We finna be on them bad, right? And after we done with them, after they time's up with captivity, we're gonna tie them all up in the way. We see the rest of these nations, they're gonna go back into their land, and we still gonna rule them, right? And they break the law. Whatever they break the law, according to what they break the law, they're gonna receive a righteous judgment behind it. Because they ain't gonna keep the laws perfect, because the laws ain't gonna be in their hearts and minds. It's gonna be the children of Israel. The children of Israel are gonna be perfect. That's why these other nations are gonna have gods from the men of Israel, when they're elect, right? Which is gonna be over them, which is gonna teach them and tell them the ways of how about Shem. They're gonna flow into it. They're gonna have to follow it, right? Righteous dictatorship, in a sense, right? It's Isaiah 14, right? Right, in verse 2. Right, it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their places, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives who took us captives, right? Who took us captive, right? It said they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're gonna rule over them, right? We're gonna rule over them. They're gonna be our slaves. They're gonna be in captivity. And this is something that that's why these people don't really read the Bible. They get in the Bible and try to find things to make their point sound valid or make themselves feel good. That's why Apostle John, he said it was bitter in his stomach. It was bitter in his mouth as honey, but bitter in his stomach. Because we truly understand this Bible tells you, this Bible is keeping it honey with you, right? Keeping it honey with you, tell you how you got to cut family out, friends out. If they ain't of this truth, you gotta get rid of them. But Esau, they can't accept this whole Bible for real. That's why they take parts out. That's why they've been trying to take parts out. That's why they try to hide the truth. Because the truth really exposes how, hey, when you read the Bible, you can look at it, right? Even if you want to try to be dumb and, this and that, okay, what the scriptures say, they who lead into captivity shall go into captivity. Did not the so-called white man lead these people into captivity? The so-called African Americans into captivity? So what's going to happen to Esau? These things that they don't want to hear. But we're going to tell you, though, as they're going to be as though they had not been. We're going to tell you that. We're going to tell you how they're going to go into captivity, how they're going to be burnt up or done away with, right? The scriptures tell you, Most High going to lead neither root nor branch with them. When he come to destroy them, Jeremiah 49, he ain't leaving nothing. He come to destroy it all, right? In Malachi 4:1, he says, for behold, the day cometh that it shall burn as the oven. And all the proud, and all that do wickedly, Esau, shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, says the Lord Yahweh hosts, that it shall lead them neither root nor branch. So they ain't gonna have no way to even expand or ever come back. They'll lead them root nor branch. They finna be done, right? They finna be done. They're gonna be as though they had not been. We're gonna tie them up and do away with them after they get done with that harsh captivity, right? Let's go to Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah 49, right? It's Jeremiah 49 and verse right now. It says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes, right? Because the grape gatherer come there and take 90%, leave 10%, right? If these come by night, they will destroy till they have enough. If these come, they're gonna take enough things. They're gonna keep coming. They're gonna take enough for them to take. They're gonna leave, right? But what he say? He said, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, his neighbor, and he is not. Right? Because he gonna be done away with. Most High leaving nothing of him. Most High leaving him neither root nor branch. He's done. They're gonna be as though they had not been. They gonna never come back to the earth again. They're gonna be chased out of the earth, man. Right? They're gonna be chased out of the earth. Chased out of the earth. You know? And this is the judgment upon them for what? Ezekiel 35, for them pursuing the blood of our people. Right? Drinking with the blood of the saints. You know, Yahweh Shai is gonna bring that righteous recompense unto them. Right? Elder Pastor Rumline quoted this a long time, well, not a long time ago, around about some months ago. He said, you know, if you want to see your judgment, look at the works you done, because the Most High said you reap what you sow. Look at all the things they done to our people, to the land, destroying the earth, doing all these things. How about Shai is going to destroy them for that? You're going to bring a judgment unto them for that, right? So let's go back to Obadiah 1 more time, right? In verse 16, right? It says, For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, they shall swallow down, they shall be as though they had not been. Right? They're gonna be as though they had not been. Right? Just like it real fast, mom tells you. Shalaki, right? All right, so let's go here. Micah. I don't know why this do not stairs is not working, but let's go ahead to Micah. Is that Micah? No. Actually, yeah. Not Micah though. Let's see. Just maybe lose my train of thought. James. Go to the book of James. Chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, Go to now, ye rich man. Weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, your garments are moth-eaten, right? Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. It shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back fraud, crieth and cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right? You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You have nourished your hearts as in the days of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist. Be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the day of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Right? It says, because when you understand it, right? It says, be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Right? Because when you understand it, Yahweh Shai is coming to bring vengeance upon the elect. Ultimately, you got to think everybody, those 2/3 and the rest of the other nations, they're going to be destroyed. Right? Yahweh Shai is going to bring vengeance for our nation. Ultimately, for the elect, he's going to bring deliverance. He's coming to bring judgment, deliver. Why he said, I have long time holding my peace. Because he read it why he said, every eye should see me, even them who pierce me, really paraphrasing. He coming to bring destruction upon them. See, Esau, you've been living rich. You done had all these things, right? You lived in pleasure, but now you're going to be as though you had not been. You're going to be going through anguish. You're going to be going through terrors. You're going to be going through all type of things, man, right? And there ain't no getting out of it, Ain't no running away from it. Ain't no ducking it. Yahweh Shai is bringing it straight to your front door, man, right? Once again, it says, go to now, ye rich man. Weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you, man. Right? That's why the scripture say, in Deuteronomy 37, the curse that upon us is going to go into the other nations. See, right now, we in the sense of our iniquity being, our punishment being finished. Right? We understand why we here in this captivity. We understand what we went through. Now it's Esau, Edom. Now your time is here. Now you finna go through that. We seeing slowly, each and every day, you getting closer and closer to it. Right? World War III getting closer and closer. We know the MOTB is coming soon. And as we know, you going down. Right? When you go down, you never come back up again. We're gonna rule for eternity with Yahweh Shai. So Lord will, like I said, I want to try to make no long one through the Spirit, right? Is understanding, man, that Esau, you're gonna be as though you had not been. Chased out of the world. That's what we're titled. Though you has not been chased out of the world, man. So with that being said, Lord willing, right? Hope this lesson was edifying, quick, edifying, exalting, right? And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom.